TFM 95.4.
Let's talk.
Live on TFM and the TFM Facebook page. This is the live feed of TTV. Let's talk.
Hello and welcome to the Midday Update. These are the top headlines from our newsroom today. 5 core focus areas of Oman's economic stimulus plan. Pfizer BioNTech vaccine can protect against Brazil variant according to a study. Since Harry and Meghan interview, UK royal family says will address race issues raised. Koeman feels Barcelona can overturn 4-1 deficit. Liverpool coach rules himself out of coaching German national team. In addition to that, in today's episode, we'll be joined by Lieutenant Said from the Royal Oman Police, who's going to tell a little more in detail about the closure. But before that, let's see how the weather condition looks like in the Sultanate in our weather update.
This is Maythal Shukeli with today's weather update. And at the moment, I'm standing outside the TFM studio in Al Khuwair. Before we move on to weather, here is our fact for the day. Persia went green before being environmentally conscious, and that was a concern. The first windmills were found there, although electricity as we know it was not invented until the 19th century. That is our fact for the day. Now let's step inside the studio and talk more about weather. According to Oman Meteorology and Civil Aviation Authorities, there will be mainly clear skies over the rest of the Sultanate with chances of cloud advection over Masandam and also chances of clouds formation over Al Hajar Mountains. And there might be late night to early morning low-level clouds or fog patches over the parts of South Al-Sharqiyya and Al-Wusta. Now let's take a look at how the weather will be like in all the governorates. Muscat will be sunny, temperatures between 36 to 25 degrees Celsius. Musandam will be partly cloudy, temperatures between 31 to 21 degrees Celsius. North Al-Batana will be sunny, temperatures between 33 to 23 degrees Celsius. South Al-Batana will be sunny, temperatures between 36 to 25 degrees Celsius. Al-Buraimi will be sunny, temperatures between 35 to 22 degrees Celsius. Al-Dhahira will be sunny, temperatures between 36 to 21 degrees Celsius. Al-Dakhiliya will be sunny, temperatures between 35 to 21 degrees Celsius. North Al-Sharqiyya will be sunny, temperatures between 35 to 20 degrees Celsius. South Al-Sharqiyya will be partly cloudy, temperatures between 37 to 21 degrees Celsius. Al-Wusta will be sunny, temperatures between 38 to 23 degrees Celsius. And the Far will be partly cloudy, temperatures between 30 to 22 degrees Celsius.
Welcome back to TTV. You're watching Midday Update. Now, before we get into the details of the local stories for the day, let's see how the COVID-19 situation looks like in the Sultanate. The Ministry of Health officials has announced the registration of 3 death cases due to coronavirus in Oman today. This has taken the total death toll in the country to 1,600. The health officials has also extended their deepest condolences to the families of the deceased. In addition to that, the Ministry of Health officials has also registered 426 new coronavirus cases in Oman. The total cases in the country have now touched 147,257, including 135,227 recoveries and 1,600 deaths. In the past 24 hours, the health officials has also registered recoveries of 222. The ministry has urged everyone to adhere to social distancing instructions issued by the Supreme Committee and the Ministry of Health. And now from a local desk. The Sultanate's economic stimulus plan, known as ESP, endorsed by the Councils of Ministries on Tuesday, is based on main 5 axes, namely A. Incentives pertaining to taxes and fees. B. Incentives to improve businesses and investment environment. C. Incentives to boost small and medium enterprises. D. Incentives for the labor market and employment. And last, E. Banking incentives aim to enhance efforts to alleviate the impacts of coronavirus pandemic on the national economy through a set of measures to support efforts of enhancing economic recovery, economic activities, and attracting foreign investments. This plan comes within the framework of procedures of the Fiscal Sustainability Plan, which is from 2020 to 2024, and aims at improving the financial position of the Sultanate, cut down the country's general debt, and ameliorate its global credit rating. The Economic Stimulus Plan, I said earlier, known as ESP, targets the diversification of the national economy during the 10th five-year plan. In particular, it lays emphasis on the sectors of converting industries, agriculture and fisheries resources, mining and mineral products, in addition to service, cultural, logistics, and educational activities and their supportive and complementary sectors. Now let's see a little in detail about each sectors. Starting with A, incentives pertaining to taxes and fees are stated in the plan as follows. Exemption from the income tax to all firms that undertake their businesses activities right from 1st January 2021 till the end of 2022. Exemption of hotel establishments from the income tax due for the 2 tax years of 2020 and 2021. Permission for the settlement of the due income tax and waiving of the additional income tax for 2021. Exemption from the tourism tax and municipality tax payable by tourism establishments till the end of this year. Moving to point B, which is incentives for the improvement of business and investment environment, are stated in the plan as follows. Now let me tell you, these are just a few summary of the plan that was released yesterday, and it includes permission to practice business and investment activities after a business person or investor obtains a preliminary license. Companies registered as per the Foreign Capital Investment Law will be treated in the same as Omani-owned companies. Offering foreign investment companies 3 licenses for the recruitment of expatriate manpower. Now, exempted from this are the lands not allowed for investment by non-Omanis. Stated below are some of the points. It includes that the ownership of the lands and properties has to be within land areas sustainable for the actual requirements for the licensed commercial activities. That the company's ownership of land plots and properties is limited to purchase in residential, commercial, and commercial, industrial, and tourism uses. That the companies utilize 50% of the purchased real estates for practicing the activities registered in the commercial register. Going to point C, which is incentives for supporting small and medium enterprises, are stated in the plan as below. Cutting down by 12 to 15% the rate of income tax for small medium enterprises, normally known as SMEs. Continuation of postponement of premiums of loans of SMEs that are payable to Al Raft Fund till the end of this year. The awarding of government procurement tenders shall be limited to a ceiling of 10,000 Omani Riyals for SMEs. Point D, which is incentives for the labor market and employment promotion, are stated as follows. The allocation of 20 million Omani Riyals in the 2021 budget for training job seekers and qualifying them to join the labor market. Reduction of fees for expatriate manpower, recruitment and renewal of licenses. Lastly, point E, which is banking incentives, are stated as below. Sustained enforcement of procedures on suspending laid-out citizens till further notice, as well as citizens whose salaries are slashed by their employers or companies till the end of September 2021. Credit incentive packages will continue to be offered, including the lending ceilings, the facilitation of borrowing for affected and productive sectors, and more. The Central Bank of Oman will now work with commercial banks, financing and lease financing companies to reschedule the loans to fit with new fiscal flows from borrowers to secure their ability of repaying. For more details, please visit timesofoman.com. Now, initially, I told you about that we'll have Lieutenant Said joining us from the Royal Oman Police, who will be talking us about the commercial closure, the fines to those who are not adhering to the commercial closure, and many more. So let's welcome Lieutenant Said Al-Mahrazi from Royal Oman Police to the show. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Mariha, for having me today, and I'm so glad to give the residents and the civilians the information.
So, Lieutenant, can you tell us a bit about the commercial closure?
Yes, first of all, I would like to extend my greetings to the listeners. And that the Supreme Committee is putting its effort to ensure the stability of the country during this pandemic of COVID-19. For that, there has been a decision. The recent decision state that closing the commercial activities from the 4th till the 20th of this month from 8 p.m. to 5 p.m. And for that
Conversation with the officials, and they said this closure is mainly because of people not